Hey everyone, Chris, the PDX Picker. We're back with another video of items that sold for me on eBay over the past few days. It's a light day, so it's probably going to be taking place over a couple of days. But I also want to show you how I pack a large, difficult items. So I'm going to pull a few orders, and then we will go through a tutorial, a how-to, or just a chance for you to see how I pack and ship a large item. So stick around after the intro song and we'll get started.
Wanna buy that Farrah Fawcett poster? There's dispensers and a toaster. Don't know why. That kind of stuff you throw away. I'll sell on eBay.
All right, so we only have 5 items so far the past couple of days. It's been slow still. Still a good month for me compared to previous months for April. I've already, I think I said in my last video, sold more this month in 2024 than I did all of April 2023. And we're barely halfway through the month. So, but I'd love to see some orders pick up. I'd love to see more items going out. So because of that, I kind of took a page from my son, who just started, finally, yay, selling stuff on his own, and he listed some clothing on the platform Depop, which I'm not too familiar with, other than it is my understanding that in general, I think it attracts a younger buyer or younger crowd from that shop there. So he posted 5 things or I don't know how many items he posted, but he just posted clothing items that he had and wasn't wearing anymore. And he already sold 5 in like the first couple of days. So I am going to pick his brain over the weekend and try and get his take on how to sell best on that site, because he's had success so far. So why not take advantage of a successful seller on a new platform that I'm going to try out. It is nice because Depop is one of the marketplaces that you can directly list via Vendoo, which I use Vendoo with good success lately, especially on Poshmark. As I've said time and time again lately over the past few weeks, Mercari is dead for me. I've had nothing sell in weeks. I've only had maybe 2 items sell in the last couple of months. So I don't know what's going on with Mercari for me. Again, I know others are selling on there, but moral of the story is I'm going to learn about Depop and I'm going to start listing more on there because I need to up my sales. It's just dead around here for me, and we need to change that. And I have a lot of clothing items, so we'll see. We'll give it a shot. So, all right, let's pick these 5 items that we have going out. A couple of higher dollar items and some that are not so great. But this first item is the one that I'm going to ship. So I had a great trip to the flea market. This little tiny flea market that had about 8 vendors there. It was at a VFW locally here in my town, and some of the booths were pretty large. So there was a decent amount of merchandise for sale. And I sold that Leatherman that I picked up for 20, and I sold it for 120. And then this here, this is a Little Joe train set. And it's not complete, or it's not the original version. So basically this Little Joe set comes with these trains, the power source, and then it comes with like some track, some little things that you put around there, and then some buildings and stuff like that. Well, the original set, most of those pieces, the building pieces, were taken away, but then they added all of these other train cars to it and some more track. So paid $10 for this, and I sold it for $79.95 in a matter of a couple of days. So really good trip for me to that flea market. I spent $30 and turned it into $200. So really good. But this is a bulky item. Oh, here, this shows you what the original kit had, and it had these buildings. Sorry, there's a glare on there. Had the buildings there and some trees and stuff along with those poles. But these Little Joe sets, if you happen to find them around, Bolo for sure. Definitely pick them up. The sell-through rate on them is super high. There's just not a lot listed though, so I don't know what the chances of you finding one out in the wild are, but if you do, pick it up for basically anything $20 and under. It will sell for 50 to 80 right away. But we're going to ship and pack this and go through that process. So, all right, here in a bit. Okay, next item that sold, one of my action figures, one of the better ones in this group. It is this guy right here. He's a Toy Biz Venom figure that, so again, I paid about 20 cents per action figure on there, and so this one sold for $10 plus shipping. Had it listed for 15. Somebody offered me 10, and I said, sure, why not? So definitely a good profit on 20-cent purchase. And next item that sold is part of my storage auction buy. That was an interesting learning experience, but not something that I'm super ready to go out and do again. Part of the contents in there were these, can't really see this very well, but there's a bunch of ballet CDs. So like ballet music CDs. And I thought that was unique enough to lot up, and turns out I was correct. So these sold for $20.98 plus shipping on those. So Bolshoi Theater, Russian Imperial, Bolshoi Theater Orchestra, Russian Imperial, whatever. I don't know. A bunch of ballet music. I know nothing about ballet music, but turns out it was a decent sell. And then I bought these at an estate sale, this next item, and there was a quantity of 2, and somebody decided to buy both of them. They are, put it back here. They are these new old stock aquarium filters by Powerhead, I believe is the name of the brand. So it's a very weird estate sale. I bought everything from soft sculpture cabbage patches to tons and tons of new, never used Christmas ornaments to these filters, just a wide variety of stuff they had for sale there. So those sold. I picked those up for very little, maybe $2 or $3 each, and they sold for $20 each plus shipping. So $40 for the pair of them. And then the last item that sold, and then we'll get into the shipping of the large train set, is this oilskin Australian Outback oilskin. I'll show you in a little bit better. Jacket. Picked this up at my local thrift store for it was $8.99 is what they charged for it. So these oilskin jackets are interesting. I don't know how many of you are familiar with these, but it's waterproof in that they are treated with some sort of oil. I mean, the smell on these is bizarre, but it has some condition issues on here, some spotting and things. So yeah, there's some spotting on here, which I disclosed, of course, in the listing, but I guess, I don't know. Somebody likes these, so I sold that for $41, took an offer on it, sold it for $41 plus shipping. So that'll be a nice one when it goes out. Okay, so let's get into the shipping of this train set. So I'm going to clean off my table here so I have some room, and we'll get into the process. Hold on. All right, so a couple of things you need to take into consideration. Of course, with these larger items, obviously, first and foremost, you always want to make sure it's packed securely and well enough to arrive at the buyer's location, safe and sound without any breaks or issues with that. So this type of with this type of item, we have all these loose train cars in here. Not only are they loose in the boxes, but some of them are loose inside the boxes in here. So I am going to go through and put little pieces of paper in all of these that have room for them to shake around. So I'll take little chunks of my, little chunks of my shipping paper here, ball it up and stick it in there so that those don't move around inside there, because they can break for sure when you move them around like that. These I will, since there are no little boxes for them, I'll wrap in a little bit of bubble wrap. And any extra space in here, I'm just going to fill. I'll put in a layer of bubble wrap here, layer of bubble wrap here, and maybe some shipping paper to just keep everything in place so that it doesn't move around in here. So I'm going to do that right now off camera, and then I'll come back and show you what the end result is. All right, so we are back with that. Let's take this off so you can see what I did underneath, and we'll put that back on. All right, so you can see here I put little pieces of paper in there. I bubble wrapped these. So we have some void here that I want to try and fill up with this paper. Sorry, that's probably really loud. It's hard to do this with one hand. So let's just go back to this. So we'll put some bubble wrap here in the corner, and I'm using the small bubble wrap because I don't have a lot of space, number one, but it's also a little bit cheaper for when it comes to purchasing it. But so let's just fill this section up here. Really hard to do with one hand, and we'll throw some paper in here. I'm just gonna have to set this down and show you here. Maybe you can see it from up here. So let's kind of hold all of this in, put this lid back on, and hopefully it will close nicely. So yeah, end result there is, if we shake it around, nothing's really moving, just the trains that are in the little holders here. So all right, so we got that part taken care of. That's the inside. This box, I don't know if it is something that people really care about, but the insides are protected. And so now I'm going to try and find a box for this to fit in. And based off of the box that we find, it'll determine how much we protect this outside, essentially. So I do have a box that can work. And I don't know how many of you have animals or pets and get Chewy pet subscriptions with Chewy or shipments from Chewy. We regularly get our cat food in here, and they send these boxes. We get maybe one every 6 weeks or so. They're nice for shipping large items in one sense, but they are bad in another, in that the size that these are is like the post office has decided that they don't like they don't like boxes this long. So I'll set this here. I'll measure it out. I want to say it's 24 inches, and it is. So it's 24 inches long. This box is 20. I'm going to throw it in here, and it fits really nicely on the inside. There is some of the space right here, but if I were to ship, and there's space up above here too, so if I could actually, and I will, trim or score this box along the edges here, and then fold everything in so that it's not as tall. There's just no need for it to be that tall, so I don't have to worry about trying to fill it with a bunch of things. But with this length, I'm going to show you what the difference in price is when it comes to shipping this via USPS. So this box is 20 inches long. Let's just say with the box dimensions, let's just say it's 22 inches. So it's 22 inches long by, I want to say, let me set this down again. Who knows how well this video will edit out, but all right, so when we do 22 inches, 14 inches, and let's just call it 4 pounds, 6 ounces, the cost on it is $11.80. All right. But let's say we don't want to adjust this box size at all. Let's say we just fill it with, air pillows or something, but just keep it the size and dimensions that it is. So let's put that in here and see what the calculator comes out. So we went from $10, basically $11. We have 24 inches. This is 14 inches wide, and the height on it will be 7 inches. So you can see here we went from $11 to $24.73. So that's why I say these boxes are nice, but you're going to have to be willing to modify them in order to actually get them to ship. So, all right. So I'm going to wrap this up and in some bubble and put some filler paper in there, score it, and I'll show you what the end result is here in a little bit. So hold on. I'll set the camera here just in case it can be filmed, and I'll probably speed up the process so that maybe I'll cut this out, maybe I won't, but we'll see. All right. First thing I'll do is grab a nice chunk of my small bubble, and we're just going to wrap up this box that it comes in just to give it some protection. Again, I don't know, maybe people like the artwork on it or something, and so they'll want to keep it. I don't want the box to get damaged. All right, so got a little space on the edges here. Here's something else to keep in mind. So 24 inches wide. If I just cut this down, if this is 24 inches wide, but if I just score here and fold everything in so that it's not as tall, it'll knock the price down to $15.80. If I take 2 inches off the edge and bring 2 inches in here, it will go from $15.80 to $11.80. In order to do that, though, I'm going to have to cut these edges and fold everything in. So it's doable. I'm going to have to fold this in or cut it off. It's doable, but it will take time, and so I have to figure out for that $4 of savings, is it worth me taking the time to do that? So, I don't know the answer to that. Not only will it take time, but it just won't look as nice. So I'm going to do part of the process, and I'll make the decision as I go, just depending on how things are going. So we'll see. Hold on. So I got this at Amazon. It is a box cutter that has the scoring tool. Very, very invaluable when it comes to Frankenboxing or just making the boxes smaller. So as you can see, I just used that and put a straight line across in. So now this will be really easy to fold in. So you then cut the box here and cut it here, and I'll fold it in and show it to you. Oh, I badly need a new knife blade. This one is dull. Okay. So we have cut this here, and then now I will, hold it on that line, and you can see it just makes a nice fold right there, and that scoring tool is invaluable, so we'll keep using that here. All right, so for the purposes of the tutorial, I decided to go ahead and shorten the box. So I've started that process here, and I've made some cuts. I need to remove these pieces. I've scored here. So basically what I'm going to do is fold this up and over to make the side here, and we'll show you the end result here in a little bit. I forgot I also have these. These are like a heavy pair of Chris brand. They're old. No, Klaus brand, Caluss scissors. I happen to just come across these somewhere. I don't know, but I absolutely love them for cutting cardboard. They are definitely way more heavy duty than most scissors, so I love them. All right, so we got the box done here. I'm going to have to tape up these sides so that they're secure. And then I'm going to need to cut down the middle here in order to get rid of this excess. All right, so we're all done. We got everything taped up here. Doesn't look too bad, I would say. So let's see what the final total is. Charged $17.95 for shipping on this. And even though the total should come out less than that, see, that's the benefit of cutting off some of that. We're now under 4 pounds. So let's see what the total is going to be. So we're at we'll call it 4 pounds because you have to round up. So we're at 21 inches wide. Actually, at exactly 13 inches or 20 inches long, 13 inches wide, and we'll go to the highest point here, 4 inches. Drum roll, please. The total is probably $10.97. So $10.95 that we saved the $4 by cutting off those edges here. It is not going anywhere, so I would call that a win overall. So, all right. Probably will be the end of this video. I didn't realize it was going to be this long. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please like this video if you did like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.